Hi everyone, welcome to the second video street chat. I'm not sure if Jeremy's just joined as I kick this off, so hopefully he can pop into the blab. If you don't know, these are video street chats, so we're doing a little bit of a different style. There's going to be a little introduction like this, a main topic, which today is what makes a good street photo. And then at the end, we're going to share a street photographer that we like, a peer street photographer. So this is not a master. This is just someone whose work we find interesting out there. And we're going to have a bit of a discussion. Hey, Jeremy, if you want to join in, then there should be a way for you to join the chat somehow. Like click on a seat and ask to join or something like this. I'm just going to see if I can... Well, did I unfollow you? Yes, okay, great. I'm just going to accept you onto the chat.
Hi.
Hey, Jeremy. Am I saying your name right? Because...
Perfect. Jeremy.
Wonderful. I didn't know if you had a different accent for your name.
In French, it's Jérémy, but Jeremy's fine.
Okay. I might try Jérémy, yeah? Soft endings, always a problem. So where are you based?
In Lyon, France.
Cool. And how long have you been taking street photos?
2 years from now.
Okay. And were you doing photography before that, or...
It's been 10 years of photography, family, friends, and now I'm taking a tour of the professional photography stuff. So
cool.
Doing wedding photographies and stuff like that. And,
yeah. Carry on, sorry.
And the street photography is like my main passion today. It's
Great. So your main professional stuff is wedding photography. Anything else, or?
I'm web designer. It's been 15 years of web development and designing stuff, and I'm bored behind my computer, so the photography is
great way to get out. Yeah,
exactly.
I definitely relate to that. Yeah, I can definitely understand that. I got a message from Yuri. He's going to join us a bit later on, but he's running a bit late. So,
okay.
Oh well. So you on Saturday there was the Twitter chat,
yes,
and you and Yuri had. I've seen a summary, but you shared your thoughts on what makes a good street photo. Yeah.
It's like a really personal thought, because I love to when I'm creating my photos and trying to keep just the good stuff in my Lightroom. I have this little grid in my head to help me to go through the process quickly. So I have some little things like when there's one people in the photo, I have 1 point. When the people in the photo fill mostly the frame, I have 100 points. And so, when I catch their eyes and when I have an interesting expression, it gives me more points. And if the photo telling a story is funny, interesting, I have a good photo. So I trash a lot of photo.
Yeah. I think that's the thing about street photography. You've just got to accept that for every good photo, there's like 100 bad ones or something. I wonder what it's like with something like wildlife, if that's similar, or if it's a bit more controlled, that they can have more keepers for each like time they hit the shutter.
We talked about the waiting process yesterday. I think in wildlife photography, it can be horrible to wait for hours and hours behind the lens to get that lion.
Yeah, whereas with street, at least you can move to a different location. You can, and you're not so reliant on the golden hours as well. So I think that helps. I've got a audio clip from it's actually from a workshop I went to where someone said Charlie Kirk said his 5 criteria for a good street photo. So I'm just going to share it. I can't share it. I'll share it in the chat. I'll share a link to it anyway. Okay. Actually, I did manage to share it. So there you go. 5 things that make a great street photo. I can summarize his ideas. So he said separation, like not having things overlapping, not where you get like a tree coming out of someone's head or something. What was the next? I've got it right down here. Good light. So, and for that, he said really harsh light, it seemed to be like strong ones that give you good, strong shadows. A good, man, that's really funny. Nice one. Nice one, Nick. So apparently a guy in the chat says a good street photo is a photo of Trump. Yeah. I don't think you understand street photos. So depth would be another element. So that is, where you have something in foreground, something in background. Emotion. So this could be shown through gestures, through an expression, stuff like this. And the last part he said was creativity. So I think, there can be exceptions to lots of those things, like separation, as you say, when it's creative, that can work so well. Like when you have an interesting, I saw one where there was a woman's head and like it was black and white. So her hair kind of merged into a tree. So it made her hairstyle look like it was a crazy afro, but it wasn't. And so I think stuff like that.
Purpose, it's great, but it have to be controlled. If it's an accident, I don't think it make a good photo.
No, I agree with you there. Yeah, like when a bad accident happened, if you're in control of it, if you know what to do, then that works. I'm just going to try and kick this guy out because, frankly, I don't care about Donald Trump. So, bye. Man, couldn't believe that. But yeah, so I think they're kind of good elements to think about when you're looking at a photo. I think they're things that I do. I like your point system. I think it's. I think a lot of good photos are where you get a great eye contact, where someone fills a frame as well. I like that. I like that system.
Thanks. But it's not always the whole framework. We can give emotion with someone just that little in the photo, but the streets can also speak for themselves. They can tell stories, but mostly when I use those rules, it helps me to get the best of my photos.
I can see that. Yeah. I think that's the thing about rules. There's so many exceptions to every rule, especially in art and creativity. Like if ever someone says, "Oh, this is a rule," like the rule of thirds.
Yeah.
It's like there's. I think rules are good because like 90% of the time they're true, but then, you know, the times like backs are boring, I think is a really, really, really good rule. But there are some amazing photos of people's backs. Yuri, if you want to try and jump on, then give it a go. I don't know what you need to do that.
You have a button to join.
Yeah, I don't know if I need to click or something as well for him. Sure. Oh, cool. Okay. Accept. Hi, Yuri.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Yuri, what do you think makes a good street photo?
Well, for me, as I said previously, and I mentioned in my blog and during the street chat on Twitter, I guess it's a clean background, no clutter. I mean, the subject matter needs to be it needs to catch the eye straight away. So when you look at the photo, you know where you're looking. If there's something going on, there's an emotion, or so yeah, that's the first thing. Second thing is probably sorry, I got something mysterious, maybe something that that is not in the photo. So you leave something out, which is I think just as important as what you include in the frame. So you ask questions. I mean, you don't. So the photo it catches your eye, and you go, well, what's going on here? And it could be something funny, something ironic, or something mysterious. I think that's the main points. I mean, the emotion I mentioned before, the emotion or gesture. It's always a good photo with where you actually feel. You look at it and you get the feel. You feel something when you look at the photo.
Definitely.
I think that's my things.
So one thing I wonder about a lot is I think it's easy to critique a photo like after the fact. Like you look at a photo and you can go like, oh, you know, the background's not clear or something like this. But I always try to think, how could I approach this differently so that I would make better photos and like get better street photos. So do you think you can... I can hear myself somewhere. So
I'm getting an echo.
Maybe someone's... I think it was your microphone, Jeremy. I've just muted you for a second so I don't hear myself. Do you think it's possible to... what can you do to try and engineer these elements in a good photo? So something like backgrounds, you know, maybe you just always have to keep an eye on like the backgrounds of the side of the street as you're going along to know what you can do. What ideas do you have? How can you engineer that?
I'll have to say, I mean, if you see a good background, I mean, you just have to be patient and stick to it and wait for a few minutes. I mean, if you have time, obviously. So you wait until something interesting happens, or a person walks along, or maybe few people form a different kind of a certain pattern. You might get an interesting scene of, for example, on top of my head, like a mother with a pushchair, and then an elderly person walking by, or something like this. You know, create a story. So you wait for something to happen with the background that you've chosen.
It's a cool technique. It's like painting with people on the streets. You wait to get the shapes and the shadows you want. But we talked about it yesterday. It's a game of patience.
Yeah. It's also it's someone called it fishing,
Yeah.
right? Going fishing.
I was just about to say that. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you have like those two mindsets. You can go fishing where you just have to wait, or you can go hunting where you're kind of like walking along, prowling, like, oh, where is it? Oh, there it is, sort of thing.
Or another case where you don't have patient and you just like hunting. You said you basically you choose. I mean, you don't take as much photos, I think, because most of the time the backgrounds are quite busy in the streets. Also depends what kind of street it is, but I mean, if you're in a busy town center or someplace like this, I mean, I think talking from personal experience, it's difficult to get a clean background. So you kind of you go with the flow. I mean, you try to get as much clutter out, leave as much clutter out of the frame, and you either need to get close to the subject or create some kind of relation with the foreground and the background.
Yeah. I think like one of the things that Martin Volz taught me was to help get a good background. Often the background's bad. So what you can do is you can go low and like point your camera up and use the sky as the background, because that helps to like get rid of a load of problems. Or try and go high and shoot down into the ground, because often those backgrounds are a lot better than shop fronts or in the road is usually the worst, because you often have like cars coming by and it's really hard to control.
Yeah,
that's a good point with the sky. Yeah,
from below it's a great tip, I think. Eric Kim is taking mostly his photos from a low point of view, and sometimes with really close to the people with the flash. I don't know how we managed to not being punched by people, but it takes great photos with emotion, clean eyes, with the good reflection on the eyes. It's challenging, I think.
Yeah. The flash helps too, actually, because then, if you have the flash, you can help separate from the background, and you can have like a lower ambient exposure, but the person will still be sharp. So that's quite a cool trick. I've tried experimenting with that. It is, flash. I'm still so nervous with flash with people.
Yeah. I think the lens you use is also giving you the good separation with the background. I mostly use a 40 millimeter, but when you use not so wide lenses, you can control the background. But it's hard to take a huge lens in the streets. So
yeah, that's true. Like with long focal lengths, even if you like, often I see that people try and do like just bokeh the hell out of an image in that case, and then you have no context for the image.
Yeah.
And often, like, I don't know why. From compression, I guess, but often when you have those longer focal lengths, you just get other people in the background because of the compression of the element of the picture of the things. I guess it's bad for depth as well, and like I think that is I like that in a photo, like when you've got like something in the foreground, something in the middle ground, something in the background. So yeah, I definitely agree. Wider lenses, wider focal lengths help to.
Yeah.
40 mil is pretty good.
And it's really a street photo when you have all the environment around the people. So it's kind of tricky to stick to my little guidelines. When I need to fill the frame with the people with a wide lens, sometimes you have to be really, really close to the people. But you have also that feeling of the really street photo. With longer focal length, you eliminate the background. You have just one people. It's more like portrait. So.
Yeah, I think there's a beauty in those. Like, there is a real beauty in isolated subjects. And there's also a real beauty in like complex layers. I think, yeah, it's interesting, different styles. For a while, I really preferred lots of complex subjects, layers, and things like this. And now I'm starting to like isolated people again a bit more. I think, yeah, but with context, like the sort of environmental portraits, I think that's it's a really cool challenge. And getting the person just as they step into that shaft of light, when it comes off, it's really great.
Yeah. I like to hunt people. It's kind of freaky to say, but when I see an amazing face, people with huge emotion, but there's a cluttered background, I like to follow them for a few meters to find the right background, the right light, and the right expression of their faces. It's a cool way to take a great photo.
I think like one of the things Eric Kim taught me is like if someone does an interesting gesture, often they'll do it again. Like the person who's yawning, like often they're tired, so they're going to yawn again. Or like if someone blows, like I've got hay fever, allergies at the moment, and I'm blowing my nose all the time. So if someone saw me blow my nose, wait a couple of minutes, I'll do it again. So I think that's a way that you can kind of engineer those interesting gestures or moments or something like that. Yuri was back and he's gone.
Oh no.
I don't know what's going on. I have my signals not. Oh well. Another good. Yeah, I think that's a good tip. Like, stick with an interesting person. Maybe
you can provoke something. If you yawn, you make them feel like they need to yawn. It's interesting too. We talked about this yesterday. We don't have always to be invisible. We can take part of the scene. I don't really like to ask permission before, because the photo don't feel so natural. When I did the 24-hour project this year, I was desperate sometimes. So when I saw people and I wanted to take their photo, I asked them permission. I tried that, and I don't like those photos. But we can move with the environment and influence it, and provoke some reaction to the people when just by being here. Block their view, make them angry. Sometimes it can give you a good opportunities to take a great photo, I think.
Yeah, there's this thing I read about, which are these neurons in your brain which like basically empathize with another person. So if you see someone who looks sad, then that triggers that emotion in you. And you can like mirror neurons or something like this. I seem to remember they're called. They've got a more proper name. But like you can use that. So like if you scratch your nose, it makes someone like feel like, oh, my nose feels a bit itchy. Or like one of the things I love doing is like for street portraits, when you're interacting with someone, which I know some people don't consider to be street, but who cares? It's like, I feel like, your earrings are really nice, and you touch your ear, I guarantee they will touch their ear.
That's great.
Or like, oh, I love your glasses. And if you go like that, then the person will go like that as well. And then you're just like, thank you.
That's perfect. I do some traditional portrait photography a lot. This year, I take one portrait of my wife each day. I try to, but it's hard. And I learned that your body language is really affects the body language of the people you take in photos. So if you make this, like be straight, the people in front of you will do the same, and it's really, really easy to provoke some cool stuff like that when you're shooting people. And in the streets, it works too. It's great.
Yeah, that's a really good tip. Actually, I hadn't thought about that. Like, I think one of the biggest problems that people have with I've got a post that I'm getting ready to post, which is about why I think being visible on the street is terrible advice for a beginner, because I think it makes people so nervous about being seen and so preoccupied with that they then are kind of even more unnatural and more like, okay, oh, and then as soon as you see someone like that, you're like, oh, you look weird. You look like a creep. What are you doing? Get away from me. Why are you taking my picture? And then you're like, oh no, they've noticed. They know I've done something bad. And so like relaxing is so important.
Yeah, and when you take someone photo and don't ask for permission and you get caught, if you just smile and be relaxed and just walk away, it doesn't matter for the people. They don't seem to be aggressed or something like that.
Yeah.
And I always have business cards on me with my name, my website, a street photographer on it, and I distribute them. There's and they can choose. You know, there's few photos. It's old photos because I need to. It's on Blurb. It's amazing Blurb, and they play with the cards, and I have a mini portfolio on me like that.
Yeah.
And they feel like I made them a favor because they saw me like a professional. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yuri says for some it could build confidence. Do you mean Yuri? Do you mean trying to be invisible can build confidence, or getting noticed can build confidence? Because I know for me that starting to do with permission street portraits gave me a lot of confidence to then take photos without permission. Because as soon as I started to interact with people and had people go no, or look at me wrongly, then that helps. Staying away for a bit, then getting closer. Yeah, I think that's true. Like one of the things I always try to do is take a few photos of nothing as soon as I start. Like as soon as, especially with digital. Thank you, digital. It's just like, oh look, the sky. Okay. Okay, now I've taken my rubbish photos for the day. Now I can take good photos. And like, yeah, taking photos from so Yuri says staying away for a bit, then getting in closer. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. And I think it's okay to, like, I think for someone who's trying to start out, they need to get used to being noticed, because it happens. Like you look at the greats like Henri Cartier-Bresson, and so many of his photos have people who look at him. So clearly he, and I think he's the stereotype of the street photographer who doesn't interact with people, and yet he was clearly noticed. So
the hit and run style. I like talk to people afterwards. When I get what I need, it's great also to ask them their story, to talk with them. And when I publish it on my Instagram, I like also to tell this story in the comments below. It's a cool way to interact with human beings too.
Yeah, I've so I picked up an Instax printer, and I love this thing because if you want to do street portraits, or if you're interacting with someone, or if you take a candid photo of someone, you can then give them a copy of it, and that feels pretty special. It's
Yuri says you gotta give to get. It's just this. It's a cool way.
Yeah.
I follow a good photographer on Twitter or Instagram. I don't remember his name, but he's in wheelchairs. Maybe you know him. And he sells prints of his stuff, and he go back where he took his photos and give prints of their portraits of the people when he can find them again. And he take a photo of the people on the portrait with the print, and it's cool. It's
that's really cool.
Yeah, I like.
Does he take pictures with a fisheye lens? Because I know about one photographer in a wheelchair who uses a fisheye and gets like right next to people for that. But maybe it's a different eye.
I will search for the link.
Cool.
And publish it on Twitter. He makes really great photos, and the wheelchair angle of view is great. It's really far below from our point of view. It's cool.
Sounds really interesting. Yeah, please do share the link. If anyone is watching this, I'm going to collect some links and
like kids angle. Yuri says like kids angle. It's this.
Yeah. I'll collect some links and I'll put them on a blog post on my blog connected to the video, so you can watch the video again. You can look at all the links, and that will be at Street Togs. That's streetto.gs and then / street chat. What makes a good photo, with little lines in between every single one, probably. Probably. Okay. Good luck finding that. Search is a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
Use that. Maybe shall we share some street photographers that we like? Because I'm excited to do this part. So I need to grab my link. So for me, wonderful. Yuri's got the link already. I'm going to share Oliver Crooms. He's a guy I met in London doing the Eric Kim workshop. He's also a Fuji X100T shooter, and he's a German photographer based in Berlin. And he's recently been in is it Rangoon now rather than Yangon? In Myanmar, yes, not Burma anymore, Myanmar. And some of his stuff from there has been amazing. He also does stuff in Berlin, which is great. Really recommend him. Check him out. Also, really nice guy.
Yeah.
So I've got a link there. Let's see. I'll open Yuri's one and get it ready. So for Yuri, I think I did that. Angel Figueroa from Osaka, Japan. Although it sounds like a Spanish name. Yuri sent a message. I can't see it. Interesting blog. Okay, that's really cool. Okay, Spanish. I had no idea about this guy. So he is apparently, based in Osaka, Japan. One to check out. Any Fidelity will do. Anyfidelity.wordpress.com. So check out that one as well. Do you have one to share, Jeremy?
I like Marius Vaith.
Let me see if I can get that up. Marius.
I get you the link.
I think I can do it quicker. Yes, I can.
Sorry, Marcus Vaith. Okay, give you the link.
Marius Vaith.
Marcus. Sorry.
Okay. pin.
No.
Okay.
I don't think it's this one. No, it's the wrong photographer. Sorry about that.
Are you sure it's not? Is it Marius? I think.
Marius, I think. Yeah, that's it. Marius.
Yeah. He's clearly from Eastern Europe with a name like that, but
That's it.
I'm not sure exactly where.
He take amazing photo of the streets, and not photos who follow my little guidelines. Like I said earlier, the streets can speak from themselves and tell stories, and he can really capture that. And he's a really patient guy. It's amazing. I try to get the link of an image.
Oh, okay. I'll get that one up, I hope.
And I like the way he know how to make the street speaks. It's amazing.
Yeah. He's also a very friendly guy on Twitter as well. Actually.
Yeah,
like he's very open to having a chat, which is really nice.
and he made a really cool photography magazine. So it's
Neoprime or something.
Neoprime, right? Yeah. Amazing prints and really good stuff.
Cool, great. Well, I think we'll round this one up here and end it. Hopefully, we'll have another one next week at the same time, about 9 a.m. GMT time. So see you then.
Okay.
One last thing, because Yuri is a wise guy and remembered. We have a special challenge for anyone who's watching this, and it is to take a street photo using Jeremy's point system, and we're going to award people points based off that. So, Jeremy, do you want to remind people the scoring system?
The scoring system is if you have a street photo with one people on it, you have 1 point. If the people fills 50% of the photo, it have to be the main subject, you have 10 points. And if the people in the photo look at you, you have 100 points. And if it's a really storytelling photo with something clearly interesting, ironic, or touching the viewer, you have 1,000 points. We can load the points, so it can be easier to track. But I think it's a cool way to play.
Cool. Yeah, I think so too. And we're going to... so you can upload 3 to 5 photos and to the Street Togs Facebook page.
Cool.
Maybe we'll change the name to Street Chat because everything seems to be Street Chat at the moment. And 3 to 5 photos. We'll give points based off those. Any type of street photo you want, but that's a scoring system. I'm sorry, Simon Streets, who's just joined. I'm afraid we're going to end it now. Hopefully next week you can join in.